All right, so today we're going to start with a historic demonic pact deck that has been like percolating in my brain ever since I saw a tweet from Chris Patello about Otawara, the Soaring City. So one of the main problems with the card Demonic Pact, well, let's just talk about what Demonic Pact does first, for everyone who doesn't know. It's a 4-mana enchantment, already a problem. Beginning of your upkeep, you get to choose any of the following effects. You can either have it Lightning Helix your opponent for 4, you can make them discard 2 cards, you can draw 2 cards yourself, or you can choose to lose the game. And the upshot is that the idea is that you have to choose one of these per turn until turn 4 comes around. The 4th turn comes around, and then you have to choose to lose the game. So the question is, how can we play around that trigger effect? How can we avoid having to lose the game with Demonic Pact, but still get all the value for 4 mana? And the main way that we've done that in the past is with Yorion. So Yorion flickers Demonic Pact and resets it whenever you do that. We also have 2 copies of Discontinuity, which allow us to end our turn for 2 mana on our upkeep. It's kind of like a pressure valve release. If Demonic Pact would lose us the game, then we have a 2 mana instant speed answer to just end the turn on the spot, so we don't have to resolve the lose the game trigger. We also have, and this was the subject of Chris Patello's tweet, we have Otawara, which lets you bounce a creature, enchantment, or planeswalker to its owner's hand. The main thing about Otawara that's important here is that it's uncounterable and it's unthoughtseizable. So the opponent can't interact with it in any way. Once Demonic Pact is in play, if you hold up your mana for the end of turn, then you know you're going to be able to bounce the Demonic Pact back to your hand and do the whole thing all over again. And it's only vulnerable to things like Stifle, which aren't super popular in the format now that the Lotus Field deck has gone away a little bit. So that's one of the reasons that I wanted to try another Demonic Pact list, just to see how Otawara does in this spot. We also have another addition to black. Painful Bond is just a ridiculous Magic card. 2 mana, draw 2 at instant speed. And then it has the downside, the minor downside, of cards in your hand with mana value 3 or greater perpetually gain when you cast a spell, you lose 1 life. So by itself, this card is excellent, obviously. If you have no cards in your hand that are more than 3 mana, obviously it's just a 2 mana draw 2 at instant speed. But even if you do, paying 1 life to cast a spell later in the game, especially against control, is just not an issue. The other nice thing about Painful Bond versus the other like card draw spells that are traditional in the format, like Memory Deluge, Behold the Multiverse, that kind of thing, is that it's 2 mana, which means you get to cast it off Yeheni's Expertise. So Yeheni's Expertise is particularly well suited to these Yorion decks. You cast Yeheni's Expertise, you can put a Mind Stone into play. You can cast Yeheni's Expertise, you can put an Omen of the Sea into play. You can Fatal Push something that didn't die to the Expertise. You can Thoughtseize someone. So I cast Yeheni's Expertise earlier today when I was testing this deck, wiped the humans board, and then cast Thoughtseize to take the Coco out of their hand right after that. So these interactions with Yeheni's Expertise are excellent in Yorion decks. Dimir instead of Esper, because the mana base just doesn't really support Esper all that well. If you want to use the white board wipes, they require too much devotion to white. And you can't cast your spells reliably. And this deck really does just want to get Demonic Pact in play and keep going. 60 cards instead of 80, because I just couldn't find a consistent package in 80 cards that let me get the Demonic Pact down and let me deal with opponents' creatures on a consistent basis. So this is what I ended up with. I still, don't think that it's a great deck. I don't think it's tier 1. I don't think it's tier 2. It might maybe be tier 3, depending. But yeah, this is just because I love this card and I wanted to brew around it. Not a muscle I flex often. Sideboard, we've got an extra copy of Painful Bond for the control matchup. We've got Thought Distortion as our trump card. Ley Lines of the Void to deal with Phoenix because we don't have access to Rest in Peace. The extra Thought Seizes. And more board wipes to deal with the creature decks like humans and that kind of thing. So let's jump into some games and see how the deck does. Who's on Gigantha, which to me suggests either Sacrifice or Niv Mizzet. We have a Mind Stone in hand. Not much else going on, honestly. But any spell that we draw is probably going to be great. We do have the mana to ramp into Demonic Pact if we find more black. Yeah, this actually does kind of suck a little bit, but we're going to try it. If it is Niv Mizzet, then we're going to want to find our Thoughtseizes and stuff. It is indeed Niv Mizzet, so Kavu could be a problem for us. We do have Otawara to bounce Kavu if we absolutely have to. Okay, so we found another black source, which makes me more willing to cycle this Fetid Pools. I don't see a reason to play the Vetted Pools as a land here. Alright, some very friendly magic, no one doing anything, just cycling some cards. Opponent does have Dovin's Veto mana up, but there is just absolutely no way I'm not casting Demonic Pact here, right? It plays around Censor, for whatever that's worth. There's no way they're running Censor. We could just play Omen of the Sea here, with the intention of playing Yorion the following turn. But I kind of want to just make him have the answer to the Pact here. Like, if it's not literal Dovin's Veto here. And they may not even want to. Electrolyze. Okay, so this is like a non-standard Dimizit list. Like, Electrolyze is just not a great card in the format. They do have Binding. That's unfortunate. We found Painful Bond, though. That's pretty good. Yeah, so Painful Bond makes me want to just cast the Omen and hold off on casting Yorion this turn. Yeah, maybe knowing that they're running Binding, I shouldn't have played the Demonic Pact into it. They also run, like, Maelstrom Pulse and stuff. Maybe Demonic Pact is, like, uniquely bad against the Dimizit decks. Okay, well, in that case, let's draw 2 cards here. We'll cast the Painful Bond first because we don't want to hit a 4-mana spell and have to pay life for it later off the Omen. Okay, we'll flash in the Omen on end step. We'll play the untapped land in case we hit like another Painful Bond or something. Another Omen. That would make our Yorion significantly better. Go Bolus. Alright. Yeah. Thoughtseize probably going to be pretty good against them. Like, you have to imagine one of these cards is probably Niv-Mizzet. Yeah, so we'll take the Thoughtseize. And I'm going to discard, I think, just this Otawara to Bolus. We'll shock in the Watery Grave, Thoughtseize plus Yorion next turn, probably. The 4/4 does not line up super well with the 5/5, obviously. That's even better. Yeah. Let's just see what's up. Verse doesn't hit Yorion, Helix doesn't matter, and they did have the Niv. Yeah, let's just play Yorion here and we'll get the Watery Grave down tapped. Like, we are going to pay some life for these Yorions, so avoiding shocking ourselves is kind of relevant. I guess we don't want to play the Watery Grave tap because the Mind Stone's coming back. If we hit, like, a Omen off of the, Oh, what are we more likely to hit? Are we more likely to hit Omen or Painful Bond? Probably Omen. I think there's 3 more of those. Archmage's Charm. Can't cast it this turn, but, like, it's super good in the matchup. Let's just do that. So, if they attack with Bolus, I may actually just block. Okay. So they probably have to kill the Yorion here. Oh no, they can get Niv-Mizzet back. Shit, I forgot about that. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Forgot how this card worked. And they hit Hydroid Crisis. That's also really good. Alright. So basically need to find an answer to Niv this turn. That means we are going to crack the Mind Stone here. That works. Don't love it, of course. Not a huge fan of having to put the Niv-Mizzet back in their deck. But you gotta do what you gotta do. We could just send Bolus back to their deck, but that's even less appealing, right? Because at least we have a count. Yeah, alright. We'll do this. We'll hold up Charm. We'll just kill Bolus. And we're gonna have to fight through all this garbage. So they can get Niv back off of Expressive Iteration. One assumes that's what they're going to do. Binding? Yeah, this is fine with me. Sure. So here's hoping they don't have Dovin's Veto. Painful Bond, pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, these extra copies of the Legendary Lands are starting to become a bit of a problem. Memory without Narset in play isn't, like, super appealing to me. Alright, this is gonna hurt, but we're gonna do it. And if they want a Vanishing Verse my Omen in response, then be my guest. Sure. It's fine. And now we have Charm and Painful Bond available on their end step. They are going to draw a bunch with Krasis, but in that case, we can at least memory away what they draw. I am scared. Like, we are way behind here. Yeah. If the plan is going to be to memory, then we probably don't want to allow the Krasis to stay in play. The problem is that will give them almost certainly another Niv. So maybe we just need to allow this to happen. They draw 3, they need to discard to hand size. Maybe hit Fatal Push. Okay. This Continuity would have been a good answer to Krasis if we had it. So would Narset, honestly. Speaking of Narset, we can Narset plus Memory this turn. We have to be careful. All right. Those are some pretty awful draws, not gonna lie. We're gonna minus. Mind Stone's fine. And I think we're just gonna pitch the Field of Ruin. Okay, so they have 2 cards in hand. If one of them's Niv, then, you know, they're just a much better Magic player than I am. We can keep Narset alive. With another Yorion in hand, that's actually not so bad. Means that if they have another Krasis in hand somehow, they won't be able to draw off of it. That's appealing to me. Sure.
Such violence is upsetting.
Bolus. Yeah, sure, you got it. Where are our demonic paths, right? We've gone pretty deep in the deck and not found any yet. Push hits Krasis, that's fine. What do we do about Bolus? Just probably play Yorion, right? So how much mana we have? We have 8. Mind Stone takes us down to 7. Push takes us down to 6. Then Yorion. It's not great, but I do kind of want to get these cards out of my hand while I can, and then we can crack the Mind Stone, I suppose. Yeah, I hate playing the Orion like this, but I think we kind of have to. Like, our life total is actually kind of under pressure here. We'll play... I think we'll play the Fetid Pools. Like, we do just want mana. Like, we have Narset. Next turn, we'll draw something we would like it to be relevant. And let's just Fatal Push this Krasis. I guess on their upkeep. Okay. Yeah. Sure, this is annoying, but okay. Yep. And they've refilled. This is annoying, for sure. There's Kavu. Kavu's definitely scary. So we need to deal with Bolus, and we need to deal with Kavu, and it's going to be very difficult. Our deck doesn't deal with Kavu super well. Alright, I'll start with Omen. Pact. Yeah, it's a little too little too late for Pact, unfortunately, I think. Mind Stone, not the best. What do we even have that can deal with Bolus here? Not much once it's resolved, frankly. It probably does have to be like Demonic Pact, but we're just too slow for that. Alright, so let's start with Narset. Take one, try to find Fatal Push.
I have practiced against many foes. Put thoughtfulness before action.
Expertise doesn't do it. Charm? Problem is we don't have untapped land to be able to cast the discontinuity on their upkeep. So that's annoying. Yeah, probably has to just be Charm here and keep digging. Really, really want to find Fatal Push. No such luck. Alright. Well... I guess it's just Mind Stone go. Like, this is awful, but... kind of a weak spot of the deck. Like, I was kind of relying on Narset and Yorion to shut down opposing Planeswalkers, but Bolus deals with it pretty well. We have Aether Gust in the board to bring in, I guess. Sure, we could just be dead here. Like, we're dead to Lightning Helix. And that's kind of the only reason I think he would make this play, especially, yeah, going face instead of attacking Narset. I assume we're dead to Helix here, yeah, sure. Okay. So Bolus, like, an interesting inclusion in the Niv-Mizzet decks that I wasn't really prepared for. Okay, so what do we want? I think we want these Gusts, we want the Strokes, we want the Disputes, the Thought Seizes, and I think the Painful Bonds as well. Leyline is, like, not great. Thought Distortion is, like, fine. A lot of what they have is creatures, though, so that's not super inspiring. Fatal Push for the Kavu seems almost forced. Yeah, Hendy's Expertise seems really bad in the matchup. I don't think I love Discontinuity against them. It's just like a super expensive counterspell. Do need to make 6 cuts. Yeah, no, I think we do need the pushes, unfortunately. I guess Grasp is a little better than Push. Probably. Like, it hits the Kavu and it hits, like, any Planeswalkers. If they're running, like, Teferis, like either the 4 mana or the 5 mana Teferi. Doesn't hit Bolus, though, which is inconvenient. Yeah, I think we just need to be more careful. Just not let Bolus touch the board. I don't think I like the discontinuities. Let's get rid of those. They do deal with, like, enemy shark tokens, but so do the Archmage's Charms. And what else? I think I want to cool it a little bit on the Pacts. We're not going to, like, we're playing the Control Mirror. We're not going to want to be tapping out on turn 4. Could see just cutting all the Pacts and just playing Dimir Control. Maybe that's what we're supposed to do. Probably. Especially against, like, Finding the Old Gods, Maelstrom Pulse, just anti-permanent stuff. Probably just supposed to cut all the Pacts. Can't keep that. Better. Keep this and probably put back the Field of Ruin. I mean, the Field of Ruin might actually just be like a straight-up Stone Rain against them, right? And it does fix our mana. Maybe we're supposed to put back the Island? No, or not the Island, right? The Otawara? In case we draw, like, Catacomb or something. If we don't draw our second blue, this feels awful. Alright, put back the Field of Ruin. Don't be greedy. Our deck needs a lot of blue. Bolus, Kavu, Spiral. Okay. Well, we'll get rid of the Kavu. Do we Thoughtseize here? Yeah, right? Because we want to play Narset next turn. Just Thoughtseize now and be happy. Another Kavu. That, I think, has to be the take. They put Bolus in play and we just hope to draw an answer in time. They are several turns away from Bolus. Well. Dragon Skull Summit untapped does not cast Growth Spiral, so they might not be able to just cast Growth Spiral next turn. Take the Kavu. Okay, Elm's pretty good, but we're just going to play Narset.
If you wish to surrender, meditate and prepare.
Commit seems pretty good. Just in time to get under Bolus, and then hopefully, if they don't play into... Ah, fuck. Okay, well... I mean, if they put the commit in the bin, then we have the memory side of it coming. Surveil to the top immediately. Just snap it off right to the top. So fast that I thought... I think maybe it was a misclick, honestly. Alright. Don't like revealing the stroke, but... we're definitely happy to get it. And this lets us stroke and Omen. That seems pretty good. Growth Spiral main phase is something they can't do because of Narset. Stroke also hits Nickel Bolt, or hits Niv Mizzet. I don't think we want either of these. Okay. That's a lot of land. Painful Bond's pretty good. Yorion also quite good. Okay. Sure. We'll say go. Guess I don't want this getting countered, but I don't want, like... Yeah, if they Thoughtseize me, I'm going to cast this in response anyway, right? Yeah. Those are pretty good. I'm going to play the stroke that they know about, in the hopes that I can catch them playing Nicol Bolas, or Niv Mizzet into the dispute next turn. Not casting Yori in here is like super suspicious, right? But I don't think it can be helped. Like, we can't just play Yorian and have them cast Niv. We need to keep the counter shields up. Yeah, alright. They can't draw because of Narset. Yeah. Maybe I should have just cast the Archmage's Charm there to hold up Dispute after playing Yorion. Memory's not great here. Probably just saying go, honestly. Buys Gigantha. Plays Gigantha. Yeah, Gigantha doesn't scare me much. Yeah, let's just draw. Found Stroke, that's great. Got Omen, it's also pretty good. If we do this, then we can't... If we do this, then we can't Yorion and hold up Stroke. So I guess we just have to be happy like this.
I shall miss your company. Past, present, and future are bound by threads of time.
Sorry for not chatting. Yeah, you're good, man. It's been a while since I streamed at all. I'm trying to just focus on winning a game. I don't want Narset to die. Like, if they have another Krasis in hand, I really don't want Narset to die, especially because of what she represents with memory. Binding. So I think the plan is going to be to memory. So if they binding Narset, then I'm pretty sad. Let's just stroke this. Okay. Memory actually does give them a card. Kind of sucks. Maybe we're just not supposed to do that.
Hone your prowess.
Gust is great. Bond is pretty good too. It's probably just Gust to keep Narset alive. Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't think that we're like 100% to win there by any means, but that's got to be pretty frustrating to play against. Yeah, I definitely feel vindicated about taking out the Demonic Pacts. We did get lucky to like hit both of their Kavus with discard spells early on. If one of those had touched the board, then we could have been in pretty rough shape. I don't think we saw Fatal Push at all. But I think this is still correct. Yeah. Alright, sounds pretty good. Okay, it's less good now. Relatively Thoughtseize proof. You have to imagine they're going to take the Charm here. Charm or Narset. They take the Charm. Okay, so there's something that they want to resolve. You got to imagine it's Niv, right? Well, we can find out. Do we take a turn off to find out? Just, like, get the Fetid Pools in play? Omen the following turn? I think... They played the Catacomb untapped. What do they have on 3 that we're worried about? Like, I guess the worst case scenario is, like, they untap and have a counterspell and counter our Thoughtseize. Yeah, okay, let's do this. Binding, Niv. Sure. Yeah, so next turn, Binding will come down and kill Narset if we allow it, so let's not allow it. Let's just play Omen on their end step. By Giganta, that's fine. Don't think I want any more land at the moment. Yorion's pretty good. Painful Bond is excellent. So I was going to play Narset, but now I think I just want to Omen Bond. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we'll cast Bond first. Find Commit, okay. I do want Archmage's Charm. Don't particularly care about Narset there. So, like, we can Yorion here. If they have Niv in hand, we will be very sad. I don't see a reason to allow the sadness. Like, we can just Archmage's Charm on their end step if nothing else, and then Yorion plus a land the next turn to hold up Dispute for Niv. That seems way safer to me. Let's do that. Sure. Kamigawa. What does that even do? Exile non-land target non-land permanent, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, and then return it transformed as a 6/6. Huh. Yeah, that's not happening. They have 6 mana. We will be able to counter a Niv. That's all that matters to me. Oh, no, we won't, right? Because they have Giganta. Shit. Alright, well. We've come too far. We can't not do this at this point. So just please no Niv. If they don't have Niv, then Thoughtseize is exactly what I want. You'd think they would slam Niv if they had it, right? The correct thing to do here is to cast the Niv off of Giganta to play around Dispute, right? If they cast Niv off normal mana, that's annoying. Yeah, that's irritating. So now they can cast Niv with impunity. If they do, then we lose, basically. I guess maybe not. Like, there's maybe some world where we can Narset plus memory in the same turn. Now, if they don't have Niv, then our hand is really stacked. They took Yorion. Interesting. There's no way that they bought him the Kamigawa, right? Alright, so Binding comes down, kills Yorion, sure. Painful Bond quite good. Thoughtseize ya. Scarab God. Jeez. Okay. Kami War is coming. We have stroke for that, I guess. This life loss is getting kind of scary. Gust. I think it is Gust, but I don't love it. It's like we know the Kami War is like this card. So we can't Gust Gigantha lest the Kami War come down. I guess we don't have to fear it too much, right? Binding the Old Gods. Sure. We don't have to fear it too much, right? Because all it does is kill a permanent, and we do eventually have the Gust to deal with it once it's resolved. They put it on top. Is there a reason to Painful Bond here? I think the answer is no. Probably want to wait in case we have to dispute something, and then we don't have to pay the life for the dispute. We could Painful Bond into, like, Yorion or something, which would be great, but I don't want to take the shields down. Dispute is kind of rotting in our hand as well. We would like to spend it as quickly as possible. Yeah, I think I'm down to just cast it here. Like, it's just gonna rot. Yeah, I'll draw 2 here off of the charm. I'd rather not pay the life for the Painful Bond, and we have stroke anyway. Okay. Yeah, let's just do this now. Should have done that in the other order, of course. Would have loved to play the Hall that turn. Dispute once again. It's kind of outlived its usefulness. They know we have this. I was gonna set a stop on upkeep. Too late. Alright. We do have Castle Vantris. Authus. Okay. It's kind of gonna force our hand on the memory. Yeah, we'll crack one. We're going to cast the memory, then we're going to want these things back in our deck. There we go. Sweet. Probably want Field of Ruin, I would guess. Narset, yeah. Memory, yeah. Thoughtseize, yeah. Don't really want to be painfully bonding anything more with this Colossus in play, right? I guess we do have Aether Gust. We have a Painful Bond already. Yeah, let's just take Limestone. Our life total's getting kind of dangerously cheesy here. This is where they rip Mid-Mizzet off the top, right? That's how it always works. Close. Close. Fatal Push, if we crack the Omen, can kill Bolus. I'm gonna have to start playing faster here. We're just gonna pitch the land.
there.
This is on Brief Combat main phase? Sure. Painful bond apply to both sides of memory. I don't know. I think the answer is yes. That's an oops. Yeah. Cool. All right. Okay. On the play against an unknown opponent, but with a pretty sweet looking opening hand. Yeah. Everything curves out nicely here. Okay, that's annoying. So the Sihani's expertise is going to need to do some work. Probably we're going to be casting Omen and paying the Sentinel tax. If they play Thalia, it's going to get rough. Yeah, this is going to be... I think this is going to be tough game one. Yeah, okay, we have to do this. Don't think I want the Orion. I don't think one Yeheni's expertise is going to be enough to win, given that we're going to be giving them cards. So this is probably what we have to do. I think another Yeheni's expertise is in order. Very expensive commit. Yeah, I don't see how we beat this with our opening hand. With no removal. Alright. We do have... Yeah, the Yeheni's expertise at least nicely gets around Selfless Savior. So there's that. No attacking with the Sentinel is interesting. Thalia's pretty good. Yeah, Thalia's pretty good. Do I want to crack this Omen? If I do, what am I looking for? I don't know. Mind Stone, I guess. Fatal Push. Turn 5 is going to be a Henny's. Yeah, we're going to want something to cast off of the Henny's when we do. Okay, let's crack this and see what we hit. Yeah, neither of those. Thank you very much. Well, maybe I do want one. Yeah, I probably do, just to be able to guarantee casting the expertise. The problem is they could, like, Ranger Cap Navios, and we are in terrible shape. Yeah, Thalia really goes to show you how much goes into Magic card design. Like, the difference between... It makes you feel the difference between a 4-mana Wrath and a 5-mana Wrath. Like, I think a lot of new players look at those cards and they're like, what could I possibly... Like, what's the difference? Like, it's one extra mana. And then you play the control side of things against Thalia and you're like, wow, that one extra mana is ridiculous. And now it's effectively 2 extra mana because every time we cast a spell on curve, we have to pay the Sentinel tax too. So we're just going to have to hope that Yeheni's expertise plus Yeheni's expertise is going to be enough to get us there. Hello? Opponent? Hello? Opponent? Okay, maybe we just win. Maybe they're gone. I'm not above that. I'll take it. Yeah, but okay, you know how bad that feels. Letting your opponent draw cards? That's not why I got into this. I'm not... If I wanted the opponent to be drawing cards, I wouldn't be the one playing blue. I don't know if you saw my first Commander game with Astrals and Yoshi and Voiden, but my turn 1 was ridiculous. I had turn 1 Soul Ring into Talisman, and then the following turn I had Esper Sentinel. It was just ridiculous. Uh-huh. Sure. I guess I don't want to blow up that Greenland, right? Because if I do, then it lets them company. Maybe I actually do want them to company. If I company and they hit Thalia's Lieutenant, then stuff might grow out of range of Yahenni's expertise. They hit like double Thalia's Lieutenant. I think I'm kind of into it. On their end step, let's kill the farmland and try to coax them into casting company. Fuck. Alright. Well, shit. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Oh my god. Yeah, that sucks. I guess I don't want to expose myself to, like, Mana Tithe or something. They are going to crack the Ranger Captain on upkeep. Okay. Yorion's pretty good. Well, I guess we had one already. But I'm definitely happy casting Naked Yorion here. Exposing our noodle. Expedition Supplier. What does that do? Alright, I don't know exactly what happened there. They got a utility knife. They put it on Thalia. Sure. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't work, but sure. You don't say. Holy shit. Holy shit. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. 7 mana is inconvenient. So Yahenni's expertise is forced, unfortunately. Yeah, alright. Yeah, too little too late for that. Okay. So Giant Killer probably kills Yorin here. That's kind of fine. We probably, assuming these are not gas, we get to play our Demonic Pact. Finally. We do need them to stumble a little bit. And they're just not having it. Stumbling is just not something they're allowed to do. Okay. So we're going to take probably 4 next turn. I think now's the time for the Pact. Down to 7. Do I draw? Next turn I'll have Yorion. Tap 4 lands, flicker the Mind Stone, we'll have 4 more. So Yorion plus commit if I don't crack the Mind Stone? Okay. If they had, like, Snakeskin Veil, I was going to rage. That's pretty good. Okay. Jesus Christ. No. Alright, so now I think we're just trying to race them to kill them before our own demonic pacts do. Okay. That's pretty good. That gets around Ranger Captain as well. Pact, yeah. And if we untap, we win. We just go upstairs for 8. Nice. Huh. Alrighty then. Okay. So definitely want Languishes. Not really into the strokes. Narset might be a little slow. Thoughtseize doesn't seem great. Noxious Grass seems pretty good. Ether Gust, like, hits literally just Coco. So probably not. Painful Bond is indeed painful. Discontinuity seems pretty terrible. Probably something like this, honestly. Like, I don't want to play too many Painful Bonds. Anything else that's just terrible? I don't think so. I think this is okay. Maybe for matchups like these, I want, like, Behold the Multiverses or something in the sideboard, but what I found is that, like, just Demonic Pact is so bad against most of the meta that I really need all the sideboard slots to shore up the bad matchups. Alright, let's try this. Okay, sure. Okay, we have the board wipes. No Thalia. That's not great either. That's pretty good though. This turn it goes up to 3. The following turn it'll go up to 4 and be exposed to Languish. Guess we don't have to make this choice right this second. But we do kind of want to do it before combat. Paulo. So Paulo will take a board wipe, and they will not play into it. Okay. I think we'll Omen here. Yeah, those are both pretty good. Guarantees the board wipe on time. New version of Garuda is undefeated. That is your commander deck? That's the one that you're going to play against the poor beginner EDH player? You're going to bring an undefeated deck to take me on? Yep, they take Noxious Grasp. Makes sense. This nerf was, like, surprisingly big as well, right? Like, slowing down the aspirant progression by a turn. It's a pretty big deal. I suppose we don't even have to play, like, Yeheni's expertise. Okay, maybe now we do. Okay. That's irritating, actually. I was counting on the aspirant being able to die. Okay, this is great. We can Yorion. Yorion flickers the Mind Stone. Can't do anything with it. Yeheni's expertise plus Fatal Push. That seems like the way to go. If they Coco, then we have Languish waiting in the winds. If they don't, then Yorion flickers this. If they have Ranger Captain, Yorion plays around that. Yeah, let's do this. After you bring Zerda and Samet and accidentally have infinite mana and an infinitely sized incubation druid on turn 5. Okay. I know what incubation druid is. That was in standard once. Samet gives things haste, I think. Can just Noxious Grasp this Adeline now, I guess. Cave is coming. It's got to be like play this tapped, play Yorion, right? If they have Giant Killer, it really sucks. We'll take a Fatal Push. Please no Giant Killer? If there's no Giant Killer, then we're probably in really good shape here. Jesus Christ. Okay, so that will get a Giant Killer. I'm sure. And if they have land, they'll be able to cast it. If they don't have land, that's also pretty scary. A lot of threats here. We need to find some way to resolve this Languish. If they don't have land, like if they, what are they tanking about here? If they had land, you just play this and Giant Killer the Orient and get in, right? So the tagging might be whether to play the creature side of the Giant Killer to try to tap down the Orion. Okay. So we can't attack, unfortunately. If we attack, then they crack the Ranger Captain during combat, and we can't cast the Languish anymore, and then we just sort of die. We can hold up Noxious Grasp and Fatal Push. They don't know about the Fatal Push. Yeah, we're just going to cast this here. Sure. If we want, we can play the other land. Doesn't really achieve much. We can crack the Mind Stone. I don't think we're at that point in the game yet. We'll just hold up Fatal Push if they try to animate the land or something. Sure. Now, do we Fatal Push this on their end step? They know about the Noxious Grasp. They won't power up the cave. As long as it's there. I'm not Fatal Pushing the Giant... I'm not Languishing the Giant Killer on my turn. I'm just going to draw a card. Alright. So we'll take one. Could take a lot here, but... Okay, so it looks like they've got nothing. Coco could be coming. Firing up the cave, it looks like. Hopefully they do. Okay. Let them attack, so they don't have the mana. I don't know what they could use it for. Maybe Beseiju or something. Beseiju would be really good against Demonic Pact. As for Sentinel, I'm just gonna draw my cards. I'll pay. Some weak draws there. Oh my god. Oh my god. Not gonna lie, kind of forgot that card was in the format. Okay. So we have 8 mana. That's enough to commit, plus Noxious Grasp. Noxious Grasping the Apparition gives us a 4/4 we can use to block the Inquisitor Captain. They probably won't attack into the hall, honestly. Alright. I think they have another Giant Killer. Otherwise, attacking into the hall doesn't make a whole lot of sense. My Ganja. Okay. Sure. I'll keep an Archmage's Charm. That works. We're still threatening to power up the hall. Coco is coming, right? It's just a matter of time. There's Demonic Pact. Pact, yeah. Six mana, so we can't Narset and hold up commit. Okay. I just want to be like super cautious here. Yeah. Like, they can main phase the Coco here, if they have a way to draw into it. That's really obnoxious. Oh my god. Alright. So we, like, need to find a board wipe, right? I guess we don't, right? We could, we can Narset and Otawara the Skyclave Apparition. Get a Demonic Pact, eat the Inquisitor Captain. Hopefully keep Narset alive. And then cast Memory the following turn. Like, we'll need to find a board wipe. Yikes. That hurts. Okay. This is 3, 5, 7. We activate the hall, we still die, so we have to do this. So Coco probably comes if they hit, like, Inquisitor, or not Inquisitor Captain, if they hit, what's it called? Thalia's Lieutenant. We could still be dead. They hit, like, double Thalia's Lieutenant. Ranger Captain of Vias is a good one. That's probably death. Even if we find the board wipe now. Now we need to find, like, lots of spot removal. And Selfless Savior plays around that pretty nicely. Okay. Don't know that there are outs left at this point. Yeah, Thalia's not such a big deal here. The problem is the Ranger Captain, even if we find the board wipe we need, is going to stop us from casting it. Yeah, I mean, there it is, right? But, like, there's absolutely no way that that it's allowed to resolve. I guess if they crack the Ranger Captain, then... and they attack, then the Hall gets to block Thalia. We block one of the 1/1s and we go to 1. Okay. Sure.
Hone your prowess.
All right. Hanging in there. That feels good. That's more annoying. So Skyclave Apparition is going to come down and hit Narset. We do this, we have enough mana to still to power up the Hall. Alright, let's do this in response. A lot of land. Okay. Can't target the token.
I still have much to learn.
We attacking? We are. Okay. And we don't allow them to make the choice about what to save. Like, we force them to use the savior here. It's a small thing, because we're going to wipe the board no matter what. Like, they don't know that we have the board wipe in hand. Oh, yes. Oh, that's very good. So the lair is going to come in. We have a Chumper. And if we only cast Yahenni's Expertise, then we'll be able to also power up the lair. Only casting the Expertise here lets us play around a... No, we're going to get the Skyclave Apparition token as well, so Giant Killer also doesn't do it. So let's Yahenni's Expertise it up. And let's get off 1 life. Yeah, all right. That felt pretty good. Okay, so that has been about an hour. Hey, Nerd Girl, how are you doing? It's good to see you. How's your stream going? So this was like an experimental deck. I think I want to shorten the length of my YouTube videos anyway. An hour and a half videos, A, take me much longer to make, and B, the YouTube algorithm disfavors them. So I think we're just going to try a 2-game video here and see how that does. If you like the longer length, let me know in the comments. Like if you really want me to do longer videos, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I will catch you in the next one. Later.